Hey, it's Michael Saul with the Stock Market Trading Watch List for Friday, September 30th, 2011. SPY video is up on the blog. Take a look at the cash S&P. You can see we broke down out of this mini coil, but we could not hold there. So looks like it's going to be another choppy day on Friday unless something hits the wire here. Here's the NASDAQ 100. It's down 1%. It was the worst performing out of the four majors that I look at. I look at the NASDAQ 100, the Russell 2000, the S&P 500, and the Dow. And I should actually say three majors plus the Dow. So I think that looking at the Dow is overkill if you're looking at the S&P 500. The Dow is a media index. I don't see how 30 stocks are going to represent what's going on in the market. But anyway, enough of the rant. Let's continue. You can see the NASDAQ 100 had this nice expansion candle. Haven't seen something like that since back here. Of course, that's not counting this gap here, this gap day here, which would make it about the same, or maybe even this gap day a little bit bigger. But anyway, we had the expansion candle, and it came into resistance down here around the previous lows and got the bounce. All right, so the NASDAQ 100 definitely sending me a little bat crazy here, I guess. I don't know, bat crazy? I don't know. I think it's whatever. So why? Well, it was holding up the best, obviously, as the S&P was, everybody was like, oh, it's just going to go to lows, and the Russell did go to the lows, and now look, the NASDAQ 100 just hanging out up here. And then this week, it kind of outperformed the market, right? It didn't go, or it underperformed the market, I guess. It didn't go as high when we went higher. It didn't go as low on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, it all of a sudden decided it wanted to lead the downside. So I think maybe it's just getting its last shakes in. I'm still a bear here. I still think we have a good chance to go lower, and I think the time for that to happen is approaching. I don't think we crash. I just think that we're going to push lower, take out the lows on the S&P. The Russell already did, but again, obviously, and I think the NASDAQ 100 goes too. Okay, I think it at least tests it. But we'll have to see how it sets up, right? All that is just, just a good, educated guess based on what's going on. But the market is the ultimate, it tells you the ultimate truth, right? So, anyway, Russell actually led the day, or close to leading the day. It was up 1.63%. I think the Dow was the same, or close to that. What was the Dow? No, it was the best. Okay, so that was only 1.3%. But overall, it was not a horrible day. Volume actually came up on the indexes as well. NYSE and the NASDAQ. And then the NASDAQ, you're saying, well, it was up, but the NASDAQ was down. So it was just, at least to me, it was a confusing day, and it just tells me, let's get this week over, and maybe I'll be able to, work through the charts and see what I can come up with here. Here's the semiconductors. Okay, they're deciding they didn't want to play the relative strength game either on Thursday. Banks up 3.32%. Brokers up 2.73%. The basics were down, right? The XLB was down, but just a little bit. Got the rejection here of lower prices, which is always good. Here's the cyclicals up nearly 1.5%. All right, let's look at the drugs. Okay, drugs 1.5% almost. Hit into the 50-day moving average here. So these, even though these are usually defensive sector, they've been below the moving averages, the major moving averages, for a while. Here's the healthcare, biotech, oil. Okay, oil hit a new low before reversing. OIH rather hit a new low before reversing. Don't want to call that oil. Schultz Oil Services. Here's the ETF here. Okay, didn't do what OIH did. Okay, it's the USO, basically the same. Pick your poison, OIL or USO. GLD with a pause. Right, SLV with a pause. Tech got smacked. Is Apple down to its 50-day. See if that's going to hold. Amazon, okay, broke the last lows but got the rejection. Down 3.11% as of the close, which is right around a little bit higher than where it says here. So it's a little after hours, not much. Watch the 50-day if it continues lower. Google, okay, lower and then bounced. So now they're selling, and they look like it was selling in tech. Here's Baidu, hit the target plus the bonus. And, mapped this out a couple of days ago. It was a beautiful pattern. Came up to the 200-day after the impulse. Came up to the 200-day, had the reversal, and then smash-a-dillo. Okay, let's see where that goes. See if that breaks 100. Go down to double digits. Here's Netflix. Okay, what we're watching for on Netflix, a potential double bottom. It didn't happen. Instead, what happened is we just went sideways and then broke the lows and kept going. This one also appears to be headed for 100 at a minimum. What a move, huh? Trading up over $300 up here, right? The middle of July. Now looking to lose 2/3 of its value at a minimum. Okay, this thing could get, let's see. You got support down here at 93, and you got a gap fill down here in the 50s. So this could get smacked a little further. Chipotle, okay, down to the 89 and got a bounce. Even though it's not a tech stock, I tend to look at it when I look at the techs because it can move like one, right? His price line down to the 200-day. So watch this one. Smoke down nearly 20 points. We want to watch this one real carefully here. Okay, because if this does what what Baidu did, which is broke the 200 and then paused, so you can have a nice entry on the short side here. So watch this one. All right, last time it broke the 200-day, it remounted it. That's fine. There was no pattern set up. Watch this one. Okay, definitely want to watch. And one of my viewers wanted me to look at Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. And this one had a nasty day. Volume was up above the 50-day, but it wasn't that bad. Okay, I mean, we saw a nastier volume day, a high volume day back on the 22nd. It held the 89 on a close. All right, so let's throw out the Fibonacci line here. And you could see the Fibonacci lines, rather, sorry. And you can see we have the 89 EMA down here at, where are you, $90.59. And then if it breaks that level, it's suggestive that it goes down to this low at 83.50. See, these numbers are off. Hang on one second. All right, that's better. So if it closes below 90.45, all right, and doesn't mean it dips there intraday. If it closes below it, then you're looking for a full retracement down here to 83.50. All right, so let's see how this plays out here. Let's see if maybe tech is forewarning of the NASDAQ 100, trying to catch up to the broad market here. And let's see if they hold it up for the last day of Q3 window dressing and see what really plays out next week. Have a great trading day on Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. I will do the next update sometime more than likely on Saturday.